petisyon na humihiling na kansilahin ang Certificate of Candidacy ni Presidential Aspirant Bongbong Marcos Jr. Kaugnay ito sa petisyong inihain ng grupo ni Father Christian Buenafe na nag-ugat sa tax case ni Marcos. Sa 39 na pahinang desisyon ng Comelec 2nd Division, hindi nito nakitaan ng material mispresentation ang COC ni Marcos. Ibig sabihin, wala umanong mali sa representation ni Marcos na nagsasabing eligible siya sa posisyong tinatakbuhan. Ayon kay Comelec James Jimenez, binalikan ng 2nd Division ang desisyon ng Court of Appeals hinggil sa tax case ni Marcos, ngunit hindi ito naglalaan ng disqualification bilang parusa sa hindi niya paghahain ng income tax return mula taong 1982 hanggang 1984.
The 2nd Division ruled that the National Internal Revenue Code of 1994 did not apply to the case, because it would have that would have resulted in a retroactive application, since the NIRC of 1994 took effect only 1986.
Sinabi naman ni Attorney Teodoro Te, abogado ng grupo ng mga petitioner, na maghahain sila ng motion for reconsideration sa Comelec and Bank. Ang kampo naman ni Marcos nagpasalamat sa mga naging desisyon ng Comelec 2nd Division dahil naitaguyod umano ang karapatan ng bawat bona fide candidate.
If they want to exhaust all legal remedies available to them, it is within the right, and we have always been respectful of the rights.
Ito na ang ikalawang petisyon laban sa kandidatura ni Marcos na ibinasura ng 2nd Division. Hindi bababa sa 5 petisyon laban sa pagtakbo ni Marcos ang inihain sa Comelec, at 3 rito ay nakabinbin pa sa Comelec 1st Division.
Each division will come to their own decision. So I cannot say that the decision of one division will impact how another division decides.
Samantala, ngayong araw nakatakdang ilabas ng Comelec ang ballot face o ang magiging itsura ng balota na gagamitin para sa overseas absentee voting. Wala pa namang petsa kung kailan magsisimula ang pag-iimprinta ng mga balota. Bea Bernardo para sa Bayan.
Commissioners Socorro Inting, Antonio Co, and Ray Bulay say they agree that the 2 points raised by Tess Group regarding Marcos's COC were important, but was wrong in claiming that the former senator lied in the document. Petitioners say Marcos's COC should be cancelled because he wrongfully said that he has never been found guilty of a crime which is a ground for perpetual ban from public office, meaning he can never hold any government position, and mistakenly claimed that he is eligible to vie for the presidency. This is based on Marcos found guilty of not filing his income tax returns from 1982 to 1985. However, the 2nd Division sides with Marcos's veteran lawyer Estelito Mendoza in nearly all his arguments. It says that the Court of Appeals did not impose that ban on government service for Marcos. The division also says that the non-filing of tax returns did not equate to moral turpitude or a crime against good morals, citing a Supreme Court decision involving his mother, former Congresswoman Imelda Marcos. The commissioners add, penalty cannot be imposed on Marcos since it only took effect in 1986, the year when Bongbong and his family were kicked out of Malacanang and fled to the United States. However, Commissioner Co said in his separate opinion that Marcos should still be held liable as the tax returns were based on Bongbong's income when he was Ilocos Norte governor. This is the second to be dismissed at the division level out of 7 cases against Marcos's candidacy.
Just means that one of the many challenges to his candidacy has been resolved. But there are other challenges still pending.
Tess says they will appeal the decision with the 7-member Comelec and Bank. Marcos spokesman Vic Rodriguez says the Comelec division upheld the law.
We thank the Comelec 2nd Division for ruling unanimously dismissing the petition dahil sinabi ng Comelec mismo walang material misrepresentation na ginawa si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Malacanang says it respects the poll body's decision. We are also anticipating the verdict of the 1st Division on 3 disqualification cases against Bongbong Marcos as well anytime soon. Also today, Comelec is set to publish the final design of the 2022 ballots, which will still carry Marcos's name despite the pending other cases. But as of 6 p.m., the ballot has not been shared to media nor published on the Comelec website just yet.
Presidential aspirant is worried about the Comelec Second Division's decision on Marcos's case. Leody de Guzman says the move could signal how the other petitions against Marcos would turn out. De Guzman adds it is insulting to workers and taxpayers to allow Marcos to run despite his conviction in 1995 for multiple failures to file his income tax returns. De Guzman also says this only proves that there is a need for electoral and political reform, including prohibiting political dynasties. Another aspirant, Senator Ping Lacson, says it is best to respect the ruling as Comelec has the mandate to decide on any case under its jurisdiction. His fellow aspirant and Senator Manny Pacquiao, meanwhile, saying it is better to leave it at that and to just wait for what happens next. Before the decision was released, Marcos's 2016 rival, Vice President Leni Robredo, says this will not affect her presidential bid in any way.
Lagi naman namin sinasabi na yung laban ng aking kandidatura hindi naman nakadepende sa nakabase sa galaw ng ibang mga kandidato. Para tayo, whatever the decision will be, sige lang tayo.
In my interview with Robredo last week, she also refused to comment on the petitions against Marcos and said she'd rather slug it out with him this May.
Ako, Pia, ayoko mag-comment dun sa disqualification case. But if you were to ask me, mas gusto ko talunin natin siya sa eleksyon para matapos na ito.
Mas gusto niyong talunin siya sa eleksyon. Anong matapos na ito? Ano yung ito doon?
Yung narrative kasi, Pia, kung naalala mo. Yung narrative, kung naalala mo, nung natalo ko siya sa eleksyon, dahil inuun niya yung social media, ang daming naniniwala na dinaya ko siya. Kahit ilang beses pa ako nanalo sa Supreme Court, ito yung narrative na pinupush niya. So kailangan talagang talunin siya sa susunod na eleksyon para once and for all, mahinto na yung ginagawa niya na pagpapapaniwala sa tao nung narrative na gusto niyang i-push.
The division had opportunity to discuss what the term material representation means. And it defined the term material representation following Supreme Court jurisprudence as something that affects the eligibility of a candidate to run. In this case, the division returned to the decision of the Court of Appeals to determine whether or not a material misrepresentation was actually made. And the division noted the following. First, the CA decision on the tax case of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Did not contain any disqualification, right? So first, did not contain any disqualification. Second, the second division ruled that the National Internal Revenue Code of 1994 did not apply to the case because it would have that would have resulted in a retroactive application since the NIRC of 1994 took effect only 1986, whereas the cases involved in this case were 82, 83, and 84. So for this reason, when Respondent Marcos Jr. Checked the item on the COC saying that he has no disqualifications, that it was not a misrepresentation. The division further found that there was no deliberate attempt to mislead. There was no deliberate attempt to mislead the commission, contrary to the allegations of the respondents. The division likewise noted that failure to file an income tax return is not a crime involving moral turpitude. All right. So those are the main points of the decision of the second division. We will make